The Mozambican National Bank of Investment was created in 2010 by the Portuguese and Mozambican governments, with its activities focused on long-term investments, mainly infrastructures in Mozambique. No longer a joint entity with Portugal, the bank is now 100% owned by Mozambique. CNBC Africa's Lionel Schenk talked to the CEO of Mozambique Investment Bank, Adriano Maliani, for more. Here's that conversation.
The government decided to own 100% of a bank because it's more easier to implement the policies. Rather, if you have you own 49.5%, normally it's very difficult to implement what you are supposed to implement. Mm-hmm. I think that the decision to own 100% was normally what is happening in Mozambique is you have national entrepreneur complain about the exchange rate, complain about the time and maturity of the loan granted. And the government decided that, okay, we have to set up an institution that can deal with infrastructure. Infrastructure means that you have to invest for long run, for long period of maturities. So I think that was the first reason why the government decided to have this. Because as a 100% private bank, normally they run the business focused on profit rather than trying to implement the government strategy. So I think that was the main reason. The second reason is now Mozambique is receiving good, if we can call it, good pressure from abroad because of this national resource. We are well endowed on that resource. But government needed to have a specialized institution that can deal with the financial engineering to help even the government to be part of this project, and also for national to be part of the project. So I think that was the idea to set up a bank like this. BNI today is performing two areas. One is using as a financial advisor at the investment banking activities, but the other is to trying to intermediate and line of credit, specialized line of credit, to make sure that the funding go to those in need at reasonable price in terms of interest rate. Mm-hmm. So I think that was the main reason, and I think that we are supposed to.
So if you look at Mozambique today, you alluded to the fact that there's a lot of pressure, a lot of attention on this country for the natural resources that you have been endowed with. And yet there are challenges in order to exploit those natural resources. There's a great need for infrastructure. This is the century of infrastructure in Africa. Would you say that BMI is doing its share to ensure that Mozambique's infrastructure, economic infrastructure, will enable those growth rates that the country needs?
In 5 years' time, Mozambique will need around 37 billion US dollars, of which 12 billion for energy, all type of energy, thermal, hydro, 12.6 billion, and then you have 6.2 billion for transport, and then 16 for mining, gas, oil. But these figures are just preliminary figures because the potential for this area will need around 50 billion US dollars. So if you take these figures and bring to Mozambique, the question will, who is going to finance this huge money? And I think that, of course, part of that, majority of that fund will come from investors, foreign investors. But again, you needed to own some capital yes, to make difference in your country. So we think that if we assume that 7% will come from abroad, 30% have to be financed internally. And that means something about 3.2 billion US dollars, which is huge money. So we hope that some of our national entrepreneurs, including government itself, will come to BNI, ask us to help them to raise funds. So this is why we are specializing our staff on raising funds, and also we are specializing our staff to deal with these mining projects, because it's, you need, in fact, high experts to make sure that you are financing something that you know.